I understand. I understand now why I don't want to be alive. Isn't because there isn't meaning, isn't because there isn't enough meaning. Separation is only an illusion. It's only a subjective objective that we have been placed, that we have been handed in the face of determinism, in the face of finding a certainty on a larger scale in the matter that existence itself is entirely uncertain. It's just that on the most basic level that I can explain, we cannot separate ourselves from the ego, from the psyche that was developed, from the sense of self that we have created, that we have constructed as an evolutionary measure of survival in order to find belonging, in order to find acceptance, based off of all of the subjectives that have been culturally and societally placed. We cannot kill the ego. We cannot kill the parts of us that we hate completely, and we cannot love it into humility. We are not made to, and we just can't. But neither can we separate ourselves from the consciousness, even if you aren't aware of your own consciousness, because we are the consciousness designed to experience itself. We are the divine, and we are God. Inside of us, we will always be that childhood spirit that is undomesticated, that is unadulterated in all of its freedom and all of its wholeness, and before all of these little micro traumas, all of these traumas that adapted, that placed all of these shoulds, buts, and ifs on us. You see, separation is only an illusion, and it always has been an illusion, because we cannot separate ourselves from the consciousness or the ego, and that is the one thing that we all share, is shared humanity, because we all are the ego and the consciousness. And it's not that I am irrelevant, it's not that my meaning is necessarily irrelevant to me in the face of existentialism, in the face of finding meaning, in the face of finding a greater something, a greater purpose, in a sense of finding sanity, and in the face of finding your own certainty in an uncertain illusion of reality. The truth of the matter is that we are, but we aren't, and we've just accepted, oh, it is the way it is, this is the way things should be, and they've been that way for so long that it's just determinism. Everything is predetermined for us if you operate off of the ego and the subconscious that has been designed in order to keep us spiritually drained, in order to keep us separated from the consciousness, so we can't rise to a higher meaning, so we can't find it, so we can't be our shared humanity, so we can't find that soul incapacitating connection. And I finally fucking get it after repeating myself over and over and over again. No, what I am experiencing is not mental, it's not emotional, because it always has been one with me. The paradox, the meaning of existence itself, has always been like a shadow in my room, has always been sitting on the edge of my bed in my earliest memories since I was 4. The paradox has always fucking been one with me, and that's why it's not the ego, that's why it's not mental or emotional, because it is stemmed from my own consciousness, from before I had developed a sense of self, before I even knew what it was. I have never been separate. We have never been separate. Open your eyes so this illusion of reality can be certain, so there can be relevancy on a larger scale, on a scale of shared humanity, so we can be connected, so we can feel connected. And who knows what that means for me, or what that means for us, because it is uncertain. And it always has been, because life is uncertain because of the subjectives placed of our own humanity. There is no objective truth, there's only existence. I'm thinking, therefore I exist. And once I realized I wasn't the ego, I always knew that I wasn't, I always felt it, but I had to cross that veil. I had to be in that blink, that brief blur of the line that doesn't exist between the ego and the conscious. And I always have been, and that's why I've always felt in this liminal in-between state of existence, is because I am one with it. That's why I try to compensate by becoming the ego, by becoming my sense of self, by becoming the girl that returns to these self-destructive habits, who returns to this grief, who returns to this overwhelming emotion, because that is and always has been who I was. And I'm trying to find relevancy in the matter by attaching myself to the ego, because that's what humanity is, but I can't. And I try to compensate because I become too conscious, and I don't think that we are meant to be this conscious because of how intangible and uncertain it is. That's why I have longed and yearned to be in a state of non-existence, because I want to be one with the consciousness. I want to be one. I want to stop living in a life where everybody has accepted that separation is an objective truth rather than an illusion. I want to be one with the void. I want to stop trying to be human in an inhuman world, and life is beautiful, and that's why trying to, continue to shove down my throat that life is beautiful is completely irrelevant to me, because I understand that it is beautiful because it is subjective and because we have the own autonomy derived from our consciousness. If you are birthed from it, if you are birthed from the negation of meaning, if you are aware of it, I understand life is beautiful because I am. It's trying to explain the unexplainable. It's trying to explain the something more that I have had to make peace with. It's trying to explain God. And we just can't do it. It's trying to explain something alien and trying to articulate it into a human, comprehensible, formidable format. It just doesn't exist. I can't. I can post a million reels and I can say it all over and over and over again, and I can use all of the words and I can be completely silent, but it's completely irrelevant in the matter because it exists, because I exist, because I'm thinking about my own existence, and because I have contemplated it. In order to confront death, you have to confront life, and in order to confront life, you have to confront death. And I wish my relevancy wasn't irrelevant due to its separation, due to its